Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
Welcome to Patriots Touchback Podcast.
Boss man, we'll start with you first. Since you're the negative Nancy out of the
anyway. I still gonna say we take a loss here.
Score?
I'm gonna go 24-17 Bucs.
So I'm gonna go with 2017 Bucs.
Kieran.
The score I've had in my head all week is 27-24 Tampa Bay.
And you will respect my authority.
You will respect my authority. Welcome everybody back to the Patriots Touchback Podcast. It is episode 33 of season 3. The New England Patriots put the statement down again with a 28-23 victory over them pesky Pirates, over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that little montage you saw right at the start. You need to put your faith in me from this point forward. Not these two negative Nancys on my screen right now. You get out of my sight.
What an intro, by the way. Top dollar.
Very good.
Very, very good.
You two deserved it. I was like, if one of you just backed the Pats, I would have just left it be. I was like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
It was just one of those games.
Did you hang me out to dry? You threw me to the wolves.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, you never thought of it, and it was just one of those games where you think it's just one of those trick games that evidently you think you're going to lose, and then
it's one of them as well where I'm quite happy to be wrong. I've got no issues with being wrong on that one. I seem to be doing better at our Blazing Six predictions on our preview show, Carl, than I have been at predicting the Patriots games in terms of actual scores. Obviously, I've been predicting a lot of wins, but yeah, certainly happy to be wrong when they prove us wrong and get a big win on the road.
Yeah, massive win.
Huge win. We will get smashing on to the review of this amazing game. It was a fantastic game to watch. But make sure, please, that you smash the like button, you spike the subscribe button, you tell your friends, you follow us on social media platforms, and you make sure you follow the podcast on Spotify and on Apple as well. And we're about 36 subs from 100 subs away. So we're not too far off now. So can we get 36 subs by the end of the season? Surely we can. It should be a decent one. Okay, gentlemen. Patriots win 28-23. Strangely enough, I predicted 26-23, so I wasn't too far off the score. It was nearly a bingo, bongo, bango, bunghole on that one. But anyway, DJ, we'll start with you. Drake Maye didn't have his best performance, but still made the key plays. Still made key plays when he needed to. But we're going to start with the positives in this. To start off with, I have to put these two kids out there because right now I wouldn't be relying on rookies to do us favors. But Treveyon Henderson and my boy out of Washington State, Kyle Williams, they finally came to the party and they showed us what they were capable of. What did you make? First, I'll give you Henderson. I'll give Kieran Williams. What did you make of Henderson's performance?
Yeah, I think Henderson really did show what he's capable of. I think he has been held back in these last couple of weeks. I don't know if that's due to just reps being divided or because now Stevenson's obviously injured and Gibson's obviously injured as well. So Henderson is definitely the main back here. And I felt that he felt like he was able to do more with the ball than he has in the past. And it just goes to show those two touchdowns that he had, the breakthrough he got through the line as well. The speed that he's got once he's got going, that no one is catching him. What was more impressive was on his second touchdown, he was clear by a mile, but he was still focusing on the sidelines of what he needed to do because he knew the game was on the line. At that point, it was either going to go down and let the clock run or just scored a touchdown. So it just goes to show there he wasn't being greedy. He was actually thinking about the game and the team itself. And I think the coaches eventually just said, look, just score. You know what I mean? Other coaches might have just said, you know, I think Maye was the one who was saying, you know, sit down at the line.
That would have been a smart move. I noticed that because the Bucs still had 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
The Bucs still had 2 timeouts. So if we'd have sat down before the line, Bucs could have easily called a timeout, and New England would be like, oh, crap, that was a bit stupid. So, no. But Williams, let's have a look at, Henderson's, beg your pardon. So Henderson's was
14 carries,
14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. The longest was the 69-yard scamper. You've got to give credit to the offensive line for doing that. It's the first touchdown you got that was all down to Moses and Wenu. It was also down to Mac Hollins as well, blasting a hole through the right side, and all Henderson was attack the hole. And we've in Kieran, we've said this for time. As soon as Treveyon Henderson gets a little bit of grass, a little bit of day, bye-bye, see you later. It's a house call.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we were waiting for this game to happen. It's finally happened. I thought it was quite funny, Kyle, actually, that I think it was in the first quarter that Henderson broke that 16-yard run, and you and I both said in the group chat, oh, shit, we thought that was it. We thought he was going to break that one, and then it ended up breaking 2 later in the game. It just shows the explosive, dynamic playmaker that he is. You know, yes, sometimes he's going to struggle to run between the tackles, but if you give him some daylight, he could be gone. I think it's quite clear. We've been saying it all along. He's quite clearly the best running back on our team. And a performance like this is only going to do him a load of good, not only for confidence, but to prove to the coaching staff that if you lean on him, that he can produce. Because, you know, you saw at the start of the game, Terrell Jennings was getting a few carries.
Yeah.
He goes out injured. They were like, well, we're not going to give the ball to Dearness Johnson. So go on then, Treveyon, what can you do? And lo and behold, he goes and lights up the Bucs on the ground.
It's the best running game we've had in 10 weeks, the whole season.
Like now we're at the point, it's like, well, he's done it now. And the proof is in the pudding that he is by far our best back and there's no depth behind him. Just ride him now. Just give him the carry he wants. Let him have 20, 25 touches a game and let him just ball because he quite clearly can do that. I thought it was interesting what he said about the second touchdown, about how he had a similar situation at Ohio State, where you know I think he didn't go down and it potentially come back to bite Ohio State. But the fact that this is a rookie who's 22 years old that's broke off a run at the end of the game and still has the game, or was the football intelligence, I'll use as the quote, to look to the sideline as in like, what do I do? You know, do you want me to score? Do you want me to go down? I think so many players get tunnel vision for the end zone there, or they just think, oh, I'm going to break this and go down. But for the fact of him to look over and be like, go on, let me know. Maye was, as you said, telling him to go down. Mac Hollins was going off doing some kind of like almost a like Nazi salute, like towards the end zone. So I think that shows great intelligence from Treveyon Henderson, and he fully deserved that. What made it even better was Tony Romo was like, oh, I don't like that. I like it a lot. It was almost like Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, amazing. We've been waiting so long for this, and long may it continue because we've got ourselves a legitimate back.
The only thing I will push back on, and this is not me trying to be, this is not me taking one of fucking DJ's pills, being negative, but those 2 breaks of 69 and 55 yards that he got for the touchdown was all great. His other 12 touches accumulated for 23 yards.
Yeah.
So it's like explosive plays he's very good at, but when it's an actual every down back, he's still not quite, hasn't got it yet. And I think this is how we missed Ramondre. I know Ramondre's not as good as Henderson is in his speed, but he's bigger in his size, and he can probably get an extra 2, maybe 3 yards as well going through the middle because he is a big, he's a powerhouse, he's a power back.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's why you don't keep running draw plays and running him up the gut because it's not his style. You look at both the touchdown runs, the the first one, like he runs between the right guard and the right tackle, like it's not downhill, like in between the center and the guard or whatever, and the second one's a crack toss to the left, and he gets the lead block from big boy Tonga and takes it to the house. Like, you've got to use him in the right ways. There are other teams in the league that have backs of a similar skill set that use them correctly. You don't see Jahmyr Gibbs like as a north-south runner for the Lions. They get him in space. They play to his strength. So it's down to the coaching staff to make sure that he's utilized in the right way. And yeah, if he's going to keep running into massive guys every time, he isn't going to get many yards. But that's where like you said, you need another back to spell him. We didn't have that in this game because they're all injured. I'm still not convinced that Ramondre is the answer. Like, you could go and get yourself a big back next year, but that still doesn't mean that Treveyon can't be your lead back.
Gibson will probably be back, considering them. Yeah, good. If he comes back.
And Tonga at fullback was a surprise. I didn't see coming. Big up to the delusional Patriots fan. Hope you are
using Tonga a lot.
I love using Tonga as a fullback.
Wasn't even using them. They were just messing with the Bucs because they didn't know. They were just lining them up and not even running the play. It's
like basically saying, "Oh, you got Vita Vea, yeah. We'll raise you Chris Tonga."
We have one large Polynesian, so do you.
We do on that one. Although I will say this, though, Garrett Bradbury got absolutely blasted.
I'm not saying Garrett Bradbury is not. He's not a big centre. He's quite an undersized centre, and you're going up against one of the largest D tackles in the NFL, who is an absolute unit at 350 pounds. You got to think a lot of defensive tackles, even some of the ones we've got, like Barmore and Williams, they're at the lower end of 300 pounds. 350 Vita Vea, and he moves like a Ford Mustang. Like, he's genuinely like ridiculous. Like, he was the one chasing Treveyon Henderson on the 69-yard run. Like, yeah, I'm not surprised Bradbury got engulfed because that man is a monster.
He is a monster. So, and you know what? Chris Tonga's becoming my underrated player for this team now. Just what he actually does, and he's a nose tackle.
He contributes so much.
Yeah, nose tackle. So he's the nose tackle. Then you got Christian Barmore, Milton Williams behind him. I mean, good luck. That's what I'm going to say to that. But no, well done to Treveyon Henderson. He done really, really well. We're going to get into a little bit more of the game, but the other rookie I want to bring out. Now, he only had one reception, but it was a big one. And I said to you before our mock week, I said, if there's one receiver that I want on this team, if we get out of the draft, it is Kyle Williams out of Washington State. This kid's straight out speed is ridiculous. And I'll show you by what I mean.
Definitely open play one. Once he's open, that's it. He's just seen his green and he's gone. Literally, as soon as he had that ball, his speed was, no one could catch him.
I'll show you by what I mean. Don't worry about to slow the playback, so we're going to be fine with it. So it just runs up there and is waiting for him to break. Where is he? There he is there.
That's props to whoever that is, because he distracts that safety to come down with him. So I don't know who that is. Is that Hollins? Whoever that one's that cuts down. I think it's Hollins.
I think that's Mac.
Yeah.
I think that's Hollins.
That allows.
Number 13. It's Hollins. So yeah, as you see, Hollins are going to peel away here. So watch it. He's going to peel him away. That's it. And now he's cornered, and then there you go. This is it. Look, bye. See you later. Hang on. Let's do this properly. I need to get this ready. There we go. Right. There it is. And bye. See you later. Off you go. Just 4.4 speed he's got. The kid is unreal. And this is what it is from the NFL Pro, NFL 22, NFL All Pro 22, yeah, which is only £10 a month. And I think I might be getting this for this sort of. I mean, that is just incredible. I mean, the fact I didn't see the only thing that really let me down on this, Kieran, I didn't see Mike Vrabel running down the sideline.
I mean, look, it's a great play from Kyle Williams, and we know that he has the speed to go for that. We've been wanting to see him rip off a big play ever since the preseason, where he saw him streaking down the field wide open and he wasn't being found. I think credit has to go to Drake on that one as well, because that could so easily have just been a first down completion. But he puts that in the perfect window away from the defensive back, where only Kyle Williams can get that, and enables Williams to break and go off and score the touchdown. But Maye has a man all over him as he releases that ball. I thought he was hit as he threw it first. But that is tremendous from Drake to basically get that ball off with that level of accuracy in that position whilst you're getting absolutely smashed by the pass rush. Like, that play was just awesome. And we know Kyle Williams can do that. And there was talk about him being more involved this week with Booty not being available, but he only had that one reception. But it was a massive, massive play because, we'd gone down in the game and that leveled things up pretty quickly. And I think I heard a stat earlier. It's the first time in NFL history where 3 rookies have scored 50-plus yard touchdowns for the same team in a game. Like, obviously, 2 huge runs from Treveyon Henderson and then Kyle Williams 72 yards to the house. And now, like, the one thing we've really missed in the past is speed and explosiveness, dynamism. And now we have a running back who can literally house it on any play if he gets the space. And Kyle Williams, who can legitimately stretch the field. And that's something that's been missing, even going back to when Tom Brady was still here. We've never really had a fast offense. And now we've got a nice blend of everything, really. Diggs is the underneath guy that can, the route runner that can get open.
He's a do-it-all. He's a
do-it-all guy.
Do-it-all
Matt Collins gives you a physical presence, with a height. Booty's the contested catch guy that, gets in the end zone on deep plays. Williams can stretch the field. Pop can be a bit of a gadget. Like, you've literally got such a unique blend in that receiver room. And like, now we have Henderson in the backfield and a quarterback that can make all the throws and hurt teams with his legs. Like, this offense has gone from being absolutely horrific to watch to one of the most exciting offenses that can beat you in a variety of ways.
And he's stretching the field as well. It's not just targeting one wide receiver all the time. He's actually stretching it to tight ends, running backs, to slot, whatever's taken and whatever's he's seeing, that's where he's going to take it. That's it.
Just throws it to the open guy. Doesn't matter who it is.
Whatever's given to, that's it.
And this is why we were doing at the start of the season. This is why we struggled to run the ball. It was all pass. Eventually, defense is going to start clocking onto that and going, okay, Drake is actually putting the ball out to literally everyone and anyone. So maybe we might have to start playing man coverage. But guess what happens if we start playing man coverage? You don't load up the box. Therefore, it's down to the offensive line to put the hat on a hat and give Stevenson and Ramondre, give Stevenson and Henderson the room they can to run. And now you're dealing with a double-edged sword. And then if you still manage to curb all that, guess what happens? You then let Drake Maye do a QB draw and he'll probably sprint for a first down somewhere.
Yeah.
And he'll slide, hopefully. But anyway.
Yeah, 100%. The more that the run game is respected, the more it's going to soften up on the back end. And the more that teams try and clamp down on an MVP caliber quarterback, the more it's going to open up holes for Treveyon Henderson to explode it, through and rip off big plays. So things are looking really good.
Commenting about Lucia by saying Williams and Henderson have what we need. Old speed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I will say about Maye is he played very, very well, but he did force some like that turnover that was unnecessary for him to do. You would have been okay there just to throw it away and let them take the field goal at that position. I felt that he was just forcing it a bit too much there. We probably didn't need to. I'm
gonna double block you on that one because I agree for where you're coming from. Yeah, it wasn't a great interception. He should have just thrown it out. We kicked 3 points. It's still 8 points. It's still one score. If the Bucs go down and score and get the 2-point conversion, then we're buggered, basically. So you're needing our defense to make a stand. But because he threw that interception, the defense knew, shit, we had to make a stand in that final on the next drive. And they did do that. But Drake Maye did so much throughout that entire game. But I think at some point he was like, I could probably accept him for doing that because he's trying to kill the game off. If that does go to the back of the end zone to, I don't know if it was Hunter Henry or whoever it was.
Holland, I think.
Or to Holland. If Holland catches that, guess what? You've iced the game. It's game over. No one's then is talking about it.
Yeah. It was just, I just felt it was risky at that time when you had the ball where it was. Red zone.
Yeah. I mean, the first call, it was raining. He didn't look great in. I don't really want to make that as an excuse, but listen, you're playing New England. You're down in Tampa. Okay, it rains once every
very humid as
300 days down there. So but in Foxborough, when it reaches November, December time, all you're going to get is cold, windy, miserable, rainy, snowy weather. So Drake's got to be ready for that one. Go ahead, Kez.
I think it was, it was by no means Drake's best game of the season. We've seen him play much better than that. But, first game under QBR of 100 since week 1, his lowest completion percentage in weeks. But he made the absolute, balls to the wall plays when it mattered the most. You think about, not only the touchdown to Kyle Williams, but the play where Vaya was all over him and he got it off to Mac Hollins for a first down on 3rd and long. The one where he, and once again, another 3rd and long to Mac Hollins, 3rd down and 14 after we got stuffed twice. He throws a deep bomb down the field, connects perfectly with Mac Hollins. So as much as the completion percentage wasn't as high as it has been, and he was off with a few inaccurate throws, he had the turnover. The absolute clutch plays of the game, he looked fantastic. So you take the rough with the smooth in that game. I still think he done enough in that game to really, cement his place in the race for the MVP. Because as much as there was bad, there was plenty of good as well. And when he had to put the team on his back and lead them down the field, he done it. And yes, the stats weren't his best, but games are not always won with stats, So I was, after a rough start, I thought he played pretty well for the rest of the game, and that's like you said, it's a tough environment, humid. It was raining in the first quarter. You're on the road against a good defense that can confuse you and blitz in lots of different ways. You're not going to play teams like that every week. I don't think we're going to get that from the Jets on Thursday. I think he's going to light them up like a bonfire.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. They don't have the sort. They actually play better without Sauce Gardner. So,
but yeah, I think that there was some encouraging stuff. That the good out of it was really, really good. DJ just posted that in our group chat. Yeah, that play to Mac Hollins,
that's the play where,
unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck our O-line is doing there, but he's just left by himself with $4.
And Mac Hollins, Mac Hollins is now that we've found out how to use him properly, he has become so reliable. Genuinely, he's a clutch player. He's not the kind of player you want to absolutely pepper with targets, but if you need him, you call his name, he's gonna do something. He had. His first 100-yard game as a Patriot, had a couple of huge plays in this game. After a start where 3 incomplete targets to start the game, for him to turn that around and go over 100, including that deep shot that set up, the red zone possession, he's been great. So, yeah, long may that continue because he's been a real unsung hero for us. Now that we've figured out how to use him, they're moving him all over the place. He's playing a bit of hybrid tight end. He's playing out wide. He's playing in the slot. Keep going with that. Just find ways to use him in a unique way because he is, very different to everyone else we've got.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Right. What's this picture that you sent me, DJ? Just going to have it.
I think it's the one that Kez was referring to on the 3rd and long, or 3rd and 7, that got completed to Hollins, where literally May got hit, and there was 4 Buck guys all over him, and our O-line was just standing staring.
Well, there's the play. There was the play in
that's
question.
it,
It's like 1, 2, 3. What the hell's our offensive line actually doing?
I don't know. He must have swung.
He swung out, and now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 Buccaneers all surrounding him. This is either a squashed sack or that ball's gonna be tipped or picked or do something. And he managed to complete a 3rd down. I mean, that was just absolutely.
And he absolutely lasered that into Hollins as well. And Hollins, it was face level, just plucked it out of the air. Like, it was perfect. And you can see how fired up Mac Hollins was after that as well. Yeah, incredible.
So there was one particular play, which I think was the turning point of this game, where we was down 14-10. It wasn't looking particularly great. We managed to get down into the goal line area. The 1st down, Tonga reported as eligible. Drake Maye up the middle with a Tampa Bay 1 for no gain. That was I don't care what anybody says. That was a deliberate spike.
Oh, I thought it was clock bleeding. Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Did that on purpose.
He did it on
He
purpose.
knew that if he was going to score, he didn't want to give that much time to Bucs to be able to.
Which I can understand why, but then you are running the risk of you went 2 straight running plays for no gain at all. Henderson tried twice and it failed. It's 4th and goal. This is it. If you pull it off, it's the ballsiest call Vrabel would ever make. If it goes wrong, we are literally we're on here today. We're completely lambasting him, saying, "Why did you not just take the points?" But I believe there's 2 parts to this. The first one is when the Bucs have led at halftime, they usually go on to win. When they've tied, I think it's like they've won 2, lost 1, I believe. So it's a bit hit and miss. When they are trailing at halftime, they often go and lose the game. I think Vrabel understood that, and I think he went, sod it, we'll go for it. But Vrabel was such an aggressive coach.
Yeah.
And I think very aggressive, very over the top, but I think this is also trying to drill it into his players' heads. You know, we don't leave here with 3 points. We're going out there and we're taking the full 6. We're taking the full lot. But the thing was, though, that on that final play, McDaniels made the correct play. The ball was in Drake Maye's hands, and the ball went to the best reliable receiver going in Stephon Diggs. That level degree of difficulty where he's got to jump up, catch the ball, turn around, get 2 feet down, and then survive the ground. There's so much that can go wrong with that play. But
do you remember where we've seen that play again before? It's exactly the same as the one that in previous games, but it didn't quite work out. It actually got intercepted. I think it was a Browns game. It was exactly the same play call. And the ball literally got tipped, and it was supposed to go over the top to Diggs. And someone got intercepted. I think it was a Browns game.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Literally same play call. It was gutsy.
It was an unbelievable play, and I think you're right. Like only Stephon Diggs maybe Kayshon Boutte can make a play like that, but Stephon Diggs with his experience and his ability just to be able to haul that in with the toe drag, like that was so good. And Drake put that in exactly the right position as well. Like it was a perfect way to finish the half. And yeah, McDaniels keeps cementing himself as assistant coach of the year with calls like that and dialing out plays like that, because yes, it nearly came back to bite us, but we managed to bleed the clock, score a touchdown, and get to halftime in the lead. And then score straight after halftime.
And then score straight afterwards. As soon as I saw it, I thought, right, that's it.
We made a good point on, I think it was Tom Curran's podcast, saying that Baker Mayfield last touched the ball when the Bucs were up 10-7, and when he got the ball back in the second half, they were down 21-10.
Brilliant clock management again from the Pats. And we did in that 3rd call, we tried to run the ball, we tried to bleed the clock, but the Bucs were just giving us no space, and I mean no space whatsoever to run the ball. It was like 1 yard here, 2 yards there. It was pitiful.
But their run defense is as good as ours, you know. They're right up there in run defense.
Give credit where the Bucs is. Their run defense is very, very good. You know, they're missing a lot of key pieces on offense still. But we was missing Booty, we was missing Stevenson, and the next lot of men stepped up. Henderson stepped up, and Kyle Williams, okay, he had 1 catch, but he stepped up in a huge way. If he doesn't get that we don't win that game, I don't think.
Just want to go to Omar's question there. Tonga as fullback, something we mentioned a little while ago. Like it's been fun, right? Like, you know, teams have done this over the years. With like the Chiefs done it with Dontari Poe. You know, you've seen the occasional fullback. I mean, Christ, you know, Williams.
If we could draft another
today, but
I would say we can draft another. I look Westover. I think he's a hybrid tight end. I don't think he's a good fullback. If Chris Tonga ever thought of a change moving from nose tackle to fullback, then maybe we can find a nose tackle in the draft somewhere. Some 360 pound monster.
I think he's exactly like, you're not going to use him as a lead blocker and a fullback on a lot of plays, but in those kind of, you're going for it on 4th and inches, or you're on the goal line and you want a bit of extra push, and you do it then. Like, you know, it's been reasonably effective. Like I said, you know, he had the lead block on the Henderson touchdown. Westover, I think, has got better, but he's not a natural fullback. Right. I'm not sure he was even the plan for the season.
Is he not a tight end?
Well, he was in college, but he's now converted to playing fullback. But I don't think that was the plan coming into the season. You know, we were talking in the offseason about Brock Lampy, who was the UDFA fullback that we picked up from Northern Illinois, who is a prototypical big fullback by trade. And he was running with the first team offense throughout camp, but then got placed on season-ending IR coming into the season. So I would imagine, all being well with Brock Lampy, if they like what they saw in him, I'd imagine if he's healthy next year, he probably is the fullback, because he's more of a natural fit. He's a bigger, bulkier guy that is a fullback by trade. I think that was the plan. And when he got hurt, they had to pivot to Westover, who can play that hybrid role. And then obviously now you're seeing, because Westover is not an overly big guy, in those kind of 4th and short and goal line situations, just shove Tonga in there, because he's a monster.
Tonga touchdown.
Oh my God, that would be troll. Do you know what, Tommy?
That would break the internet.
That would be the ultimate troll of the Jets if Kairos Tonga scores a rushing touchdown on Thursday. That would be unbelievable.
Oh no, because I think Patrick Ricard for the Ravens, they did some of that. They had the fullback in behind the quarterback, and instead of Lamar hanging off to the runner, he quickly held it off to the fullback, and Ricard just quickly completely rolled it. Please, Vrabel, don't Vrabel ever watch this podcast. If you come across it, please, we would like Tonga to get a touchdown, please. We just love it.
That would be that would be the perfect way to you know, mock the Jets a little bit, wouldn't it? To have
go 30 to nothing, cover, and late in the third quarter, just about to fall asleep. It's like, right, okay, that's it. The game's done, and then Tonga gets it in from the 2-yard line. I'll be like, yeah, that's it. My life is complete. Tonga's got a touchdown. Oh dear. For the other receivers, obviously Matt Collins, 6 receptions, 106 yards. All good. Demario Douglas, only 2 catches, 34 yards, but they were pivotal ones that he got as well.
One big play, yeah.
Hunter Henry had barely got used. 1 reception for 9 yards. Obviously, Treveyon Henderson, 1 reception for 3 yards. They only passed to him once out the back, and it didn't quite work out there. But Stephon Diggs, 5 receptions for 46 yards, average of just over 9 yards per reception. So basically a first down whenever he gets the opportunity to.
Just going back to Hunter, I can't quite make out what his role is. I know he's a tight end and all that sorts, but it's either too hot or he's too cold. He's not that. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if Drake's
when the ball's being spread
enough too much, or they're using him more as a blocker, inside blocker. I just don't. Yeah, I think he was more of a consistent player last year. Then again, he was made to go guy. But
when the ball's being spread out everywhere, you're not going to get as many looks. And remember, a tight end is more particularly used to go over the middle. And I think the Bucs did a very, very good job of keeping that middle completely closed off, so they couldn't keep going down the middle. If I can get Drake Maye's next gen stats, I will.
I think with Hunter Henry, like it just ultimately comes down to
He's had
like
4 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. He is a very trustworthy player. Like May does trust him. You think about at the end of the Atlanta game last weekend, where
to make the play. Yeah,
the one player to get a first down to ice the game, like goes to Hunter Henry, goes over the middle, finds him in the red zone. But because we spread the ball around so much and Drake just goes to the open guy, he doesn't always necessarily look for Hunter Henry. He's not always the first read, but you know that if he does get targeted, more often than not, he's going to come up with the play. And he's had a pretty good season today. You know, his stats are pretty high.
30 receptions, 372 yards, 4 touchdowns on average, 12
solid.
yards. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, and Austin Hooper gets the odd catch every now and then as well. I think he's in the concussion protocol actually, but
so there we go. That was
15 players. This on the chart, on the injury chart.
So that was that was his next gen stat. So if you have a look,
this is
in between the numbers 1, 2, 3. I know there's 2 in. It's got to be in the hashes. Only 1 was open there. The rest were blanks. All to the left, all good. To the right, not so much. Obviously, that was the interception, but you know that was in the end zone. And then you look at the green there, the line there, and then there's the big one there. 44-yard reset. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that is a brilliant touchdown as well. But if you have a look, there was nothing in the middle. All thrown to the left, rolling to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. So there was nothing open in the middle. So Henry or Hooper couldn't get open in the middle. That's what I mean. If you clock up the middle, you've got to go for outside the numbers. Luckily, we got a call back Hooker who is very, very good at throwing outside the numbers.
You got to remember as well who's in the middle of the field for Tampa Bay: Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yep.
Like, Antoine Winfield is arguably the best free safety in the NFL. Levante David, despite being, 35, 36, is still an exceptionally good middle linebacker. Like, I'm not surprised that it weren't, like, a load of joy over the middle of the field because they are 2 legitimate players.
Williams catch and run by with the 2019 AFC Championship. Tyree catches the ball surrounded by Patriots and takes off. Oh, please, did you have to really kill our mood on that? Yeah, I understand. I know Mars asked got another question here. Who is our other backup running back if Stevenson is not ready? I like what McDaniels did, lining up Douglas in the backfield. Nightmare matchup for linebackers. So, from what I could get from the injury report, Stevenson and Jennings, they were practicing, but they were off to the side. So, they're probably going to be limited. If I had to take a swing, I think Stevenson doesn't make it, but I think Jennings does. Because otherwise, you're running with Henderson and you're running with Dearness Johnson, who did a whole lot of nothing.
Jonathan Ward probably comes up from the practice squad as the 3rd string, but I would imagine that
no idea who Jonathan Ward is. I mean, he might.
Henderson probably is the only one out of that lot that probably even touches the ball because, like we said earlier, when Dearness Johnson came in the game on Sunday to replace Jennings, I think he had 1 touch. Like it was just like they didn't want to. You know, he'd been on the roster like a week at that point. You know, like I feel like they're not
just
really.
The Cardinals guy, isn't he?
Browns, Jags. Like he's been around a few teams. He's not an awful player. Like he's looked okay in the past, but like they're not acclimated to the system. So you might as well just roll it with Henderson. I'd imagine Henderson is going to get the lion's share of the carries again this weekend. Hopefully Jennings is there to spell him, but I don't know about Ramondre Stevenson because we don't know how serious that injury is.
If it was turf toe, he'll be out for a bit more longer, but it might just be like a niggle or like a bruised. I don't know. It's a toe injury. I got no idea what their injury is. It could be absolutely. If it was toe turf, he'd still be out. He's got the same injury as Joe Burrow.
I think they said it was.
Yeah, it's not as severe.
Not as severe. Yeah,
it's not severe. So honestly, I'd rather rest Ramondre. I'd rather rest Ramondre against the Jets, get him a little bit more rested up, and then he's got a nice tune-up game next Sunday against the worst defense in the NFL and the Bungles. So, I'd rather...
When Mondre
We
comes
released
back,
twice.
I hope he doesn't go back to how things were before. Like, I don't want to see Ramondre return from injury and he's in the lineup all the time. He's the one getting all the carries and Henderson's touching the ball 5 times a game. Like, Henderson has shown now if you give him work, he's going to do something with it. He's 22 years old. He's the future of the backfield. I don't want to see Ramondre taking carries away. Ramondre should be the change of pace. He should be the second fiddle to Henderson that you
just keep him in go to goal situations, because although Henderson is your quick speedy back, but if you say it's first and goal at the 4-yard line, guess what? You're handing up. You're going to pack the line up, and you're going to want a big back to run it in.
If you're going to give your running backs 30 touches in a game, Henderson should be getting 20 of them, and you give 10 to Ramondre Stevenson. That should be what the split level is at the moment. It should be over, that'd be 66.6%, like roughly, but like Henderson should be getting at least a 60-40 split, maybe even 70-30 with Ramondre. Like, he should have now edged ahead of him.
Yeah, it should be. Right, let's touch on, because we could talk about the offense all we want, but the defense also had its fair share of praises, shall we say. And the first thing I'm going to throw out there, and even though I wasn't sure the guy when we got him, thought, he's been a bit of a journeyman. He's been on a few rosters already. Is he going to be in for a long while? Treveyon Henderson has now got 6.5 sacks on the season. It's a career high for him. That kid has been phenomenal. He had 1 tackle, 1 solo tackle, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 2 QB hits in this game. He was phenomenal in this game, Chason. I loved his energy. Loved his burst. And the other one I'll throw out there as well, and you're going to be in shock when I say this guy's name, Elijah Ponder. I don't think I'll be saying that name anytime soon. Elijah Ponder, 2 total tackles, 1 solo tackle, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and he also had a QB hit as well. I'll just go with the QB hits here. He had there were 5 QB hits. So Chason had 2, Ponder had 1, Howell Landry had 1, obviously, and Milton Williams had 1. But Chason and Ponder were the 2 that got the sacks.
Yeah.
We needed production to sacking the quarterback. And not only that, Elijah Ponder, where did that sack come from? Who was he one-on-one with? Oh, one of the best blindside blockers in the game, in Tristan Wirfs.
And it was a clean win as well.
Clean win.
He ended up hitting the deck after he got past him, but then showed incredible determination to get up and then chase down Mayfield and still get the sack. Like, honestly, it was fantastic. I was really pleased for him. Like, that's exactly what you need as a player like from his situation, like UDFA, small school, buried on the depth chart, and then you go and make a play like that in a big game. Really pleased for Ponder. Chason's been an absolute steal of a signing, and I think people forget, former first-round pick, took quite a while to get going. He was very raw when he got drafted by Jacksonville. He's taken a few years to get going, but he's still only 26. Like,
he fits really well.
This guy is still young enough to have a long career. Like, I feel like he's come in, he's bought into the culture, he's been productive. Got to extend him now though. He's a free agent in the summer. He's on a low-level contract. He's got to get a new contract because he's been excellent. He's only going to keep getting better.
I feel sorry for him because in a way he's kind of our only pass edge rusher we've got that's half decent, and he must be getting at least. He's in most every snap of the game, so he must get again. Yeah, he like I say, his production level is way high, and sometimes you might think that when it comes to the fourth quarter, you've been bad in the first, second, and third, and the fourth. You just can't really. There's no one else really that you can sub him with, and that is that explosive than him.
Just want to pick up on this comment, Carl, from Omar as well about Gonzo and Egbuka. I think if you look at the start of the game, so the touchdown in particular, that they do really well to once again get Egbuka away from Gonzo, and like it's a bit of it, like it's well schemed actually, and he ends up one-on-one with Marcus Jones, and Marcus Jones is already having to It wasn't supposed to be covering him, but then he has to try and recover and ends up getting beaten. Like, it's fair enough. It's a good scheme play. I mean, yes, Gonzo made some great plays on Ibuka throughout the game. You know, Ibuka still had a 100-yard game, but then you saw later in the game, in particular, that we were doubling Ibuka in the slot, and Gonzo was one-on-one with Sterling Shepard. So, like, it got to the point where, like, yes, Gonzo is doing pretty well. I mean, the first real completion that Gonzo gave up for a substantial amount of yardage against Ibuka is because he slipped.
Yes,
when it was raining. So, but overall, he did pretty well. But I think it's important to point out, like, towards the end of the game, we completely switched it up and we double teamed Ibuka, let Gonzo erase Sterling Shepard, and they had like no passing offense. But then that's when you saw Tez Johnson score 2 touchdowns, because he was the only receiver that could do anything, because Gonzo had taken Shepard out and we were doubling Ibuka.
We took away their 2 best options, and they were basically what is the old Belichick thing. We're going to take away your best weapon and your second best weapon. You could beat us with your third weapon. We'll tip your cap to you.
And this is what I would do in a couple of weeks' time. I don't know whether people would agree, because, you know, we play Cincinnati in a couple of weeks' time. They obviously have 2 excellent receivers and, you know, a veteran quarterback that's probably going to sling it nonstop. I would double Jamar Chase and put Gonzo one-on-one with T. Higgins.
So you would play Carlton Davis on...
With safety over the top.
With safety, so that would be Hawkins.
Woodson or...
No, I wouldn't put Woodson there. I'd put Hawkins on there, at least.
Yeah.
Hawkins is a journeyman, but at least he understands. But Woodson is still a rookie. I'd be watching him, trying to look out for Oshavon, if I had to be...
If you don't do that, then and you put Gonzo one-on-one with Chase, yes, it's an excellent wide receiver, like elite receiver cornerback matchup. Like, it's going to be fantastic. But then you leave Carlton Davis probably one-on-one with Higgins on the other side, and Higgins then becomes the go-to target for Joe Flacco. And you used to see back in, you know, when we, you know, our last Super Bowl run, when we used to play in the AFC Championship games against Kansas City or in those big games, Stephon Gilmore would always take the wide receiver 2, and we would double the wide receiver 1. Whether that was Antonio Brown when he was with the Steelers, Gilmore would be one-on-one with Martavis Bryant or Juju Smith-Schuster on the other side. Who was it? When we were playing the Chiefs, you know, double Tyreek Hill, Gonzo one-on-one with Travis Kelce. Like, that's what, not Gonzo, sorry, Gilmore. So that's what we used to do. So I think that's the approach we need to look at. You double Jamar Chase, the biggest threat, and then you put Gilmore. I think getting this mixed up. Gonzo one-on-one. I just want Gilmore to come back. Put Gonzo one-on-one with Higgins, and that way you then take away the 2 big threats of their team, and then it's down to, you know, obviously Josivas is pretty decent over the middle. They got a couple of good tight ends, Chase Brown in the backfield, but I wonder whether, seeing as we did it in this,
they not have Gesicki, or is he?
Yeah, still there.
I think he's injured though.
Noah Fant's had a pretty good little spell with them, but like, I just think it's maybe a telltale sign that we did it with Ibuka in this game, where we doubled him and put Gonzo on someone else. Whether that's the approach for a couple of weeks' time when we play Cincinnati. I mean, we might as well play no defensive backs against the Jets, because Justin Fields can't throw a ball. So maybe like the whole secondary can have the week off and then stay healthy for that big game against Cincinnati.
Let's not get too... I know it's the Jets, and we know we usually give them their biannual teabagging when they come to Foxborough. But the one thing I would say, it's a Thursday night football. It's a short turnaround, and I don't trust Thursday night football. I don't trust it. It's like the Saturday lunchtime. It's like the Saturday lunchtime kickoff in the Premier League. I don't trust that fixture. It might be because you think it's the superior team against the inferior team, and guess what? The inferior team calls the shock and flipping wins. I hate Thursday night football. And even so, I still don't trust Thursday night football. So
I get
see Tommy's got it right there. Sloppy Thursdays. Ha. Yeah, no, you're spot on, Tommy. Spot on.
What I will counteract that with is that Justin Fields passed for 54 yards in the last game that the Jets won against the Browns. 54 yards.
Their defense is the best in the NFL. Unfortunately, they've got all the
Drake
attacking firepower of a water pistol.
Drake Maye lit them up on the back end. Jets 54. the net passing yards was actually 42 because he lost 12 yards to sacks. So he was 6 for 11 for 54 yards and a touchdown. And that touchdown was Breece Hall's 40-plus yard reception. Yeah, 42 of 54 was on a screen. So if you take that out, 12 passing yards from the QB. Honestly, the secondary might as well just like sit on the sideline sipping warm clown chowder because Justin Fields is not going to do anything to this secondary.
Obviously, we'll have our Jets preview tomorrow night. Make sure you go check me and Kieran out for that. Hopefully, we'll have a guest on. It's a bit short notice, but I hate doing Thursday night review previews. It's just completely messed up. But anyway, let's get back to the game. So, who else impressed you? One name I'll throw out there. So, obviously, Christian Ellis was out injured with a hip injury. We knew that.
Gibbons.
Jack Gibbons, according to what I've seen on the box score here on ESPN, he had 10 total tackles, 5 solos, 1 tackle for loss, and a PD.
He could have had a pick. He could have had a pick, but it went down as a pass defense.
Pass deflection.
Pass deflection, yeah. So we'll go down. I tell you what, Gibbons was brilliant. Gibbons was so good. He's usually a special. He's a special teamer. He's usually a special teamer. But he does come in onto the defense every now and then. So, yeah, well done to Gibbons.
He's a rotational linebacker, yeah. But he's a good rotational linebacker, to be fair to him. Like, I think he's been reasonably solid whenever we've needed him. So he's another one that they might try and keep because he's only on a 1-year deal as well. They might try and extend him as well because he's still at age. Craig Woodson also decent in this game. I think he had 2 massive pass breakups, including that one.
He could have intercepted one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was the one that bobbled up in the air and he just couldn't. Oh, no, it was Spillane. No, it was Bobby Spillane. Bobby Spillane had one where it tipped and he tried to corral it with one hand.
He did.
Couldn't quite get it down.
There was one on Cade Otton where there was, I can't remember who the other player was, but it
was
in
front of him,
there was 2 Patriots players. One of them was Craig Woodson. And they made a huge pass breakup on that on 3rd down to then force a punt. Woodson was excellent in this game.
Yeah, it was Gonzo that was on there. So the pass deflections I got on here with 1 of Jack Gibbons, 1 for Gonzalez, 1 for Spillane, 2 for Craig Woodson. Defense was doing its job. I know they gave up 23 points, but we were playing prevent defense, weren't we, on that last drive of the Bucs? It was a case of we're just trying that. We're not going to give you too much up, but we're going to give you quarters, like 10, 15 yards. We're not going to give you the deep ball, little chunk plays here and there just to get down the field.
It's been the theme of the podcast, but talking about rookies, but the rookie class so far looks like to have been a real success. You know, Will Campbell, who we have not spoke about so far on this show, I thought he was excellent in this game. He held up really well against Yaya Diaby. Now, Diaby's not an elite pass rusher, but he's still the Bucs sack leader with like 5.5 sacks. Like, he's still a half decent player. Thought Campbell barely put a foot wrong. You've got Jared Wilson only allowed 1 pressure in the game. Henderson had a huge game. Williams ripped off a big touchdown. Farmer's been playing pretty well on the D-line. Woodson, excellent on the back end. Borregales hasn't missed a kick since week 3. Like, genuinely, like, the rookie class, aside from Swinson, who's on the practice squad, and Kobe Minor, I want to say, who's been on the practice squad as well. We've hit a home run with this draft class so far. It's been really good. Now, it's not quite the level of the Browns rookie class so far, excluding the quarterbacks, obviously. But it seems to be like, considering how much of a disaster last year was, aside from Drake Maye, the fact they've bounced back this year and brought in a load of rookies that not only have not been busts, but are playing well. I think that's, a massive shout out to the front office for identifying them players and getting them in.
So I will throw this at you. As much as we can say that Elliot Wolf, obviously, when you pick up 4, you take Will Campbell. That was the obvious pick. My 4-year-old could have picked Will Campbell at 4, right? But the next pick was in round 2. Elliot Wolf wanted Treveyon Henderson at 38. The new regime that was coming in, they wanted guard Jonah Stavania out of Arizona. He then got picked. He then got sent to the Dolphins. He got drafted by the Dolphins. Jonah Stavania's PFF grade right now is dead last in guards, is dead last as overall grade,
Dolphins, isn't it?
Dead last in pass block grade, and he is and he is second worst in run block grade.
Yeah,
Elliot
I mean,
Wolf knows his stuff. I will
he
give Elliot Wolf his praise over this one. It looks like Elliot Wolf knew
Yeah.
what he was doing there.
100%, and I think most people would agree that Henderson would have been the better pick there anyway. But Savanaia was off the board anyway. He went the pick before anyway, so like they didn't have the choice but to take Treveyon Henderson. Yeah, he did. He went just before. No, to Dolphins.
Who?
He literally went the pick before, so then that's when they went with Treveyon Henderson. But yeah, I mean, look, you know, I really wanted Treveyon Henderson in the draft. I mean, if he had been on the board at that point, which he wasn't, my pick was Jaden Higgins. You know, we were talking about how Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, I like Higgins.
Had he been there, I would have preferred to have gone with him. In hindsight, though, you know, Henderson was a great pick. You know, we said that at the time. Like, although running back wasn't the greatest priority at that stage, to get a playmaker of that level of dynamism and explosiveness was unbelievable. So don't regret that at all.
So just a couple of stats here I'm going to throw out there. So Cody chasing against the Bucs. He had 36 pass rush snaps, one sack, 1 QB hit, 6 pressures, which is a team high, 4 hurries, which is a team high, and a tackle for loss. And then for Christian Gonzalez, this was on MK Booker, by the way, 32 routes, 8 targets, 2 catches allowed, 35 yards allowed, 1 forced incompletion, no touchdowns allowed, 1 penalty, which was obviously pass interference because he just lost him. He's like, no, fuck, they should not get away from it. You're not having this ball. I'll pull you back. Or tactical penalties, I prefer to call it, really. From Gonzo.
Professional foul, as they call it.
Professional foul where you get sent off. What? But no. Andy Borregales again, automatic as always. He kicked 4 extra points. 4 for 4. Easy peasy. Keep up the good work, kid. Doing amazing work. We're going to probably need you to kick a game-winning field goal in the clutch at some point this season. I bet you any money will be against the Bills again in week 15. Although we do have a little bit of sad news. Our run of stopping a running back from gaining 50 yards or more rushing is officially over. Sean Tucker. Didn't have this on my bingo card. 9 carries.
Never heard of him.
53 yards.
Who the fuck is he? Never heard of him before.
That's what I mean. A third down back.
Yeah, a bigger back out of Syracuse a couple of years ago. Like, it's basically their third string back. Obviously, he's now the second string with Bucky Irving out. And yeah, nobody would have predicted that it would go all the way till week 10 and Sean Tucker would have been the one to get past the 50 yards, considering who we've played against, the likes of Bijan Robinson, Judkins, James Cook, A-Chan. But he did only get 53. So he's only done it by 3 yards. So yeah, like, it is what it is. That record was going to go at some point, but it's still only 53 yards. So we've not now given more than 53 yards up in a game. Which is still pretty damn low.
So guess what? I am going to do what every knee-jerk YouTuber does and move the goalposts. We have not given up a running back 60 yards rushing of the season. That's the new stand. That's the new standard. So, yeah. Tampa played a good game. Baker Mayfield was good, 28-43, 273, 3 touchdowns. He had the pass rate of 106. Baker was surgical when he needed to be. But when you rush him off this spot, you could see him tap dancing in the pocket. It was like, oh shit. And when you contain him, it makes it even harder for him to like get up and over the top.
Yeah.
But he did well. MK Booker, 115 yards, receptions, and a touchdown as well. You know what? I'm not bothered by that, to be honest with you. Booker was always going to be the problem. Cade Otton had a fantastic game. 9 receptions for 82 yards. Really, really good as well. Tez Johnson, 4 for 42. Stone Shepherd, 3 for 20. Rashad White, 5 for 16.
Our inability to defend the middle of the field against tight ends is still continuing.
Still a struggle,
Like
Terrell Williams has got to get a grip of that quite quickly. He needs to get a grip of that quickly.
We don't have the players to match up in coverage against them. Like, safety is a need that we need to look at in the off season. And we're quite deep at middle linebacker, but we don't have anyone that's particularly really sticky in coverage. So that might be something they need to look at. But look, at the end of the day, like, teams can put yards on us. We've said that we're a bend but not break.
Bend don't break.
But you can give up all the yards in the world, but we're not giving up points, really. Still 23 is the highest we've given up defensively all season. So, like, that's not a lot. We're the. I heard some stat about scoring over 23 and giving up 23 or less in X amount of games is like we're the first team to do that in so long. Like we're scoring a lot of points. We're holding teams to under 23. Yeah. So I don't think, as much as Mekarabuke had a good game, over 100 yards, Cade Otton put up a big game. Ultimately, like that wasn't a factor in the end. Giving up yards is by the by. It's whether they get in the end zone or not. And I know Ibuka did at the start of the game, but we contained him pretty well after that.
The best stat is that they are still the number one defense in the NFL. I think you mean, he just added that there. Run defense. We are.
Yes.
We are.
Yeah.
And no one can run the ball on us. And I think we'll transition a little bit now because I think we covered like most of the game. The players were great. Mike Vrabel with his ballsy calls. It's going to give me a heart attack. It's going to give me a heart attack at some point. But I've just dropped my pen as well. Okay, never mind. But no. Great performance again. 28-23. We roll on. And they're 8-2. Oh, I almost forgot to mention as well. Do you want to know? Do you want to hear a good joke? Do you generally want to hear a good joke?
Go on.
The Bills.
The Bills lost to the Dolphins. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. No, I had to use that. Sorry.
That was such a shock result as well.
Yeah, huge upset.
And
it was the perfect timing with us.
Divisional games.
We won a game that perhaps most people thought we would lose, and then when they lost the game, most people thought they would win, which has really flipped the division now. 2 games and a tiebreaker. Like, this is serious now. Like, we are in an excellent position with the run we've got coming up to win the division. And now, like, we were saying a couple of weeks ago, like, if we win this Tampa game, does it shift the opinion on us from the wider landscape? Where does that put us? Like, genuinely, people are talking about us about being
a lot of the media
conference.
Could be coming to Foxborough, the AFC Championship.
We're right up there with Indianapolis and Denver. Denver, awesome defense, but their offense is so boring. And I think when they get in a team that can score points, they'll struggle. Indianapolis is still pretty damn good, and they've got the best damn running back of the last God knows how many years playing for them at the moment, because Jonathan Taylor's on an absolute mad one. But Daniel Jones has gone back to being the Daniel Jones that we thought, we have seen over the last few years. Even though, to be fair to him, at the end of that Atlanta game, he did make some nice plays, game.
And Warren, tight end Warren,
to being a bust. But I think overall, like, we could be the AFC champion. We could get the 1 seed, which means that the playoffs run through New England. And then if you get the 1 seed, like, naturally people talk about you as Super Bowl contenders. And I don't think any of us saw this happening. And I don't think we're good enough to win the Super Bowl just yet, because I think there are some teams on the NFC side that are a lot stronger than us. But certainly in our conference, we are, right up there as one of the best teams in the conference, if not the best team in the conference currently, which is incredible. Like, nobody would have seen this coming. Like, the way we're beating teams, that, the fact that people have doubted us, they haven't beaten anyone good. We've beaten Buffalo and Tampa Bay on the road, and we've smashed bad teams in the other games. Our strength of victory is the same as the Colts, I want to say, or the Broncos. And then one of those teams has a lower strength of victory than us. So they've also been beaten up on bad teams. The difference is that we've beaten 2 good teams on the road. Denver has beaten 1 in Philly, But Indianapolis really, aside from the Chargers, haven't beaten anyone good.
I
So
think Denver have got Chiefs next as well. I
Yep.
think.
Yeah. Now that's a pick your poison type of
I
game
think
for us
Colts
because
Chiefs, isn't it?
there's a-
After the bye?
it is Colts Chiefs.
Well, it could be Colts and then
bothered
Denver.
I'm not bothered by Colts Chiefs next week. I'm more concerned about Denver Chiefs this week because as much as if hopefully we take care of business against it. By the way, 7 people locked in, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. You hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100 subs. When we
this week.
when we take care of business against the Jets on Thursday Night Football, right? Then we can sit back in our chairs, crack open a beer, and watch how this game unfolds. Because
It's the primetime one as well.
it's 9:25.
Yeah.
It's 9:25, so I'll be able to stay up and watch that.
So Kansas City could potentially have a massive say in terms of the playoff race for the AFC, not just for themselves, but if they knock off Indianapolis and Denver back-to-back weeks, and we beat Jets and Cincinnati, we shoot to the top of the standings. That affects their seeding, and then Kansas City become into the. I
was going to say Chiefs are slowly but surely they're like dark horses at the moment. They're doing the right things and they're sneaking up bit by bit.
This game against the Chiefs, this game against Denver coming up, right, is going to be critical because I reckon whoever wins this is going to take more of a stranglehold of the AFC West. If Denver win this, I think the Chiefs are buggered because they've already lost because they haven't got the tiebreaker over the Chargers right now. Then they won't
Chargers
have
are 7-3, so you've got to think like Chargers could take advantage of.
Yeah, but mate, come on, Chargers home field advantage. There's no such fucking thing.
Yeah, but they're going to start getting healthy now. As soon as they get Joe,
they're not. Their line's buggered. They've lost Slater's out for the season and Joe Alt's out for the season. That's their blind side.
Out for the season, are they?
Joe Alt is out indefinitely.
I thought he was out for a week or two.
Omar's put here. What is everyone saying?
Steelers.
It's getting me nervous. Is there something we don't know about the Jets besides division Thursday game? Divisional matchup on a Thursday game, and it's just a Thursday night game, Omar. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it. If we go half time, we're 24-0 up. I'm like, that's it, job done. Fine. I'll be more relaxed.
I'm the complete opposite. I have no worries about this game. They are shit. Justin Fields can't throw a ball, and this game will be out of sight by the second quarter. I'm convinced of it.
You do realize at the start of the show I clipped you and DJ up, so don't make me do it again.
Yeah. I have no fears. They are so bad, and we are on a heater. We're at home, prime time. Everyone watching. I have no fears about this game. They are
new rivalry jerseys as well, which look suspiciously like North Carolina. But anyway, I digress.
I know I said this about Tennessee, and I was wrong by 3 points, but I genuinely don't think they'll score over 10 points. Like at this rate, I don't think they'll score more than a touchdown's worth of points.
But here's the question: are we going to allow them to score a touchdown on their very first drive?
Well, normally that kicks us into gear, so it might not be the worst thing in the world. But the Jets don't necessarily know what.
In our 10 games, 7 of our 10 games, we have given up a touchdown on the opposition's first drive. That cannot continue. That's pissing me off. That is. So yeah, Omar. That's why I don't trust. I hope we will take care of the Jets, but it's.
Oh, and Garrett Wilson's out, by the way. So they have no receivers.
Donnie Mitchell might be making his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not scared of that.
Hopefully he drops the ball.
I am just selling out for the run to stop Breece Hall and Justin Fields scrambling. The guy can't throw, and the secondary can just have the night off because
we're stacking the box. So we're stacking the box. Then we stack the box against Justin Fields. You're gonna have to beat us. Mason Taylor might be an issue, and where is it? We can't let the Jets tight end kill us. That's Mason Taylor. Yeah, that's going to be the. Good. He is a decent. I like him. I do like him. We're ahead of schedule by a mile in our rebuild. We should enjoy it.
You can probably see Dobbs coming on the second half to finish the game.
I thought you was going to say dogs. I thought, what the fuck are you talking
about? Right. If this game finishes as a shutout, if this finishes as a shutout, I would not be surprised. I'm not saying it will happen because more often than not, teams can get a garbage time touchdown or a couple of field goals,
At
or
least
even
fourth
they're that
quarter.
bad. But if the game finished like 34-0, I genuinely would not be surprised because they just do not have any form of offense whatsoever, and they just traded their two best defensive players away. Like they're not going to stop what we've got. The only reason they can beat Cleveland is because Dylan Gabriel can't throw the ball more than 5 yards.
He's ass.
He's
Why did they not
awful.
play Sanders? I don't get it. Got to be so much better quarterback than the other.
It's not really the podcast to talk about other teams.
Two of the Jets' touchdowns in this game were on special teams.
Kickoff return and punt return.
So, like, if they're
Same
going to
player,
get on the board against us, that might be the only way out. Because so you take that away, the Jets have scored 13 points in that game against the Browns, and one of them was, as we said, 42-yard screen to Breece Hall. So, realistically, like they kind of shithouse their way to 27 points.
They've beaten two really bad teams, and now all of a sudden they think, "Hey, that's it. We got something going." Nope, nope. But we'll have the preview of the game tomorrow night. Catch us up live on YouTube, and obviously that will be uploaded to Apple and Spotify on Thursday morning. DJ, obviously we usually get yours and Nick's predictions in. Hang on a second.
I should be on tomorrow, so I'll do it tomorrow.
Should be on tomorrow, yeah? That'll be the first time you're going on a preview show. Oh, this should be interesting.
Correct.
Okay, then. Right, we'll get your prediction then, and I'll speak to Nick tomorrow. Ask for his prediction. If he gives me something stupid like, I don't know, 2017, I'm kicking him out the group chat. I don't care.
And just finally going back to what we're saying about about how well the season's going. Are you guys now starting to like where are you at in terms of like the possibilities for this season? Because
we're Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, like I'm not quite on the we're Super Bowl contenders. I think we are contenders to get to it. I just don't know whether we would go all the way. Like
I think, as it currently stands, right, from where I'm standing, 7-3 is where we kind of think we would have been at if it all went kosher, if it all went well. We're now sitting at 8-2. We've knocked off another big team. We now have to face the Bungles next week, who have got the worst defense in the NFL, and over the next 3 weeks, we've got to play the two New York teams, which is basically two cheeks on the same ass. So really, we should be 11-2 going into the bye week.
And even if we lose to Baltimore and Buffalo, we're going to finish 13-4.
I don't think so because the Bills' next game is Bills have to play the Bucs this week.
Yeah,
they have no Dalton Kincaid, by the way, so they've lost their main pass catcher. So that's going to be a big problem for them to deal with. And the following week, they're on a short-term Thursday Night Football. They face the Texans. That disgusting, stingy defense of the Texans. They better not lose any more games because otherwise that game in week 15, that could be the AFC East decider.
One thing I will say about the Ravens as well is Lamar obviously has come back and they've won their last three, right? So they're on an upturn.
They're on an upturn now, yeah.
You actually watch them, they've not played overly well in those games at all. Like, they've kind of scraped their way through the last three games without looking overly convincing. Obviously, it does make that game a hell of a lot more difficult when you're playing against Lamar Jackson. As much as I have a disdain for him and don't think he's as good as people think, he's still much better than Tyler Huntley and Cooper Rush. So it makes that game trickier on the road. But like, I don't think they're anything to be scared of because defensively they're not very good. And that's one of them games we could probably afford to lose that, and it won't make much difference, to be honest.
But the only issue we got then is if we do have to face them again in the postseason, they will have the upper hand then on us. The only thing I will go with that one is, do you know what Vrabel's record is as a head coach against the Ravens?
No.
7-3. He knows how to shut this Ravens offense down. Doesn't matter if it's Todd Monken or the who's the other guy? The other OC. It's going to bug me. It's going to absolutely bug me now. Anyway, but look, we got a lot coming up this week, guys. Preview show against the Jets tomorrow night, and then on Friday night we will have the review show, and then we've got ourselves a mini bye, shall we say, because then we're not back until the preview show against the Bungles next Friday. So so we've got a lot this week. We've not got much next week, so it's going to be fun. We're going to have to try and do something in the bye week because we have to keep the content going and so on. Maybe Nick could Nick usually starts doing his draft board around about December time, so I wonder if he's got some names he can throw out for us in regarding of that. And we might try and guest on from our side of the fence. Oh, DJ's just decided to bye-bye, see you later. I don't know what happened there. He just left. What the hell? Anyhow, right. On that note, I think we should call it a day there. Omar, subscribe and like. Hope we get this done. Omar, thank you so much, mate. Much appreciated. You're welcome anytime. Throw any questions you want to throw when we do our preview and our review shows and that. So welcome on board. Welcome on board to the touchback train. Okay. Kieran, as always, thank you so much, mate. As always, DJ being back on is grand. We'll be back tomorrow night for the preview show against the New York Jets, titled Turbulence Ahead. Oh, it's going to be turbulent for the Jets.
I can't wait for our review show on Friday when we can use jet washed.
And on that note, hang on, has he kicked himself out?
Oh, he says his internet's dropped out.
Oh dear, he hasn't. Yeah, oh dear, he hasn't put any more money in the meter. Oh dear, what a shame. Tommy just giving us thumbs up. Big up, Tommy. Thank you, mate. We're going out of it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Tell all your friends. Follow us on our social media platforms. And make sure you follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple as well. We will be back tomorrow night for the preview of the New York Jets. For now, good night. God bless. Go Patriots. F the Bills.